Way better. There's someone mowing the lawn. If you can hear it, it's just a thing. They're just gonna be mowing the lawn in the background. It might just be in the video. This is a Fairlii Friday. Not every Friday is a Fairlii Friday, but this Friday is a particularly Fairlii Friday. So we are here in Gelli Fields looking at the archaeology, but am I actually recording? Okay, I'm actually recording. We're here in the archaeology biome, also known as Cozy Caverns. I used to actually work on this biome on my live streams a while ago, and it's still in development. This is a huge biome. Let me actually start the game and just show you some of the mechanics specifically in this biome. We'll also talk about a lot of stuff. I'm just going to be sitting here yappity dappity doing it away. What am I even saying? Oh no. Where is it? Add. Game. Okay. There we go. If there was a cut there, I totally didn't accidentally remove the game from Unity, and then it took me forever to figure out where it was. But this is Cozy Caverns. It's an archaeological dig site underneath the Fairlii Fields biome, which is the first biome in the game. This is like, wonder what's under the ground in Fairlii Fields. What's actually a bunch of dinosaur bones in this like prehistoric cave system that actually has like grass and different types of trees and stuff in it, which is really neat. The design of the biome I think is very cool. I went with a color combination thing, so here's some stalactites and they have this like blue, green, and then yellow color scheme, which is in a lot of the other stuff in this biome as well. You can see this rock here is yellow and green and gray. And then we have this ancient grass, which I wanted the grass in this biome to look kind of like it's old and crusty and crunchy, which I think is what it actually is looking like. It's looking pretty crusty and crunchy. I wish it wasn't nighttime. I wish the game would like switch over to daytime so we could properly see this stuff. Oh, look. This is a do-wild. It is one of the common birds for this biome, and if I click it, I didn't get the feather, but it actually has a feather, which would come in handy because you need to donate the feather right here. What do you mean donate? What does that mean? Well, that's the unique mechanic for this biome. If I were to grab a crop up here, ancient mushroom seeds, and then plant it, and then click it like a madman until it grows. Okay, I have an ancient mushroom, and then if I go over here to the jelly and feed it, much like how you do in all the other biomes, it didn't attack the corruption. Instead, it gave me ancient bits. And what you do with ancient bits is you have this ancient jar right here that says 0 out of 5, and you can see, whoa, that looks like ancient bits to me. So the main mechanic in this biome is you get ancient bits from feeding the jelly different things, as well as these stalactites up here. And then if you were to clear away stuff like these rocks, you would also get them. When you put it in, boop, gives you some experience, and then the number goes up, funny number go up. And if I put these ancient bits right here, whoop, it gave me this old iron coin. When you fill up the number to 5, it converts it into one of these items from the museum. This is a collection of coins, there's a collection of bones, there's a collection of ancient crops, which I'll talk about that in a minute whenever we get one of them. These are jelly tarts. In one of my older games, Jelly World, I had an item called jelly tarts, which were food that you could cook, and that's no longer a game that exists anymore, so I thought it'd be funny if those were like relics of the past. And then we have a fish and a feather, which those you obviously get from fishing and from clicking on the bird. But if we take our old iron coin here, and it obviously slots in here, boom, slot it in, it's gonna go over there and attack the corruption. I think it's a pretty simple system. Oh, bird. Oh, look, I got the dual wild feather, so I'm gonna slap it in there. Boom. It's gonna attack the corruption. This was a bone pile. That's gonna break. Go over to this next one, which is the ancient wheel. And then now we have a new item in the shop, which are bean pod seeds, which actually the bean pods and the ancient mushroom seeds both have a new farming mechanic. It's not implemented in the game just yet, but the ancient mushroom seeds have a variant crop where it's a mushroom stacked on top of a mushroom. And when you harvest it, it's going to harvest 2 mushrooms at once. And then the bean pods will have a chance of harvesting multiple bean pods at once instead of just getting 1, which there's no other crops in the game that actually do that yet. I have stuff like the fruit trees and the bushes, which I can actually show you right here. If you click on them, they give you multiple at once. But this is different because you don't actually really see how many you're getting when you get these. It's kind of like a random chance. So that's pretty cool. New mechanic just dropped, guys. Yay, exciting. Since this biome revolves around getting these ancient bits and putting them into here, I had to do a lot of thinking about how to make that kind of engaging and how the player should really interact with this kind of system really matters in this biome. So you're constantly getting these ancient bits and putting them into the jar. That's basically what you're doing the most of. Of course, there's also the sell box up here. So if you don't want to turn an item into ancient bits, you just throw it into the sell box and then you will sell it. Ah, jump scare. I'm actually working on bringing all of the save data in this game over to this new system. You can see it right here, Easy Save 3. It's a professionally made save and load system for Unity that is way better. There's someone mowing the lawn. If you can hear it, it's just a thing. They're just gonna be mowing the lawn in the background. It might just be in the video. But Easy Save Manager is a lot easier to save things. And I decided to move over to it because the save data in the game is a little bit tedious for me to work with and to add new things. And I want this game to be as easy as possible to make. If the game is easier to make, it's quicker to make, and I want to make it more, and it's easier to make new things quicker and test them with the system. Currently, not everything is moved over to it, so it's going to take me a minute to actually get everything moved over. It's a whole thing, but I'm actually really enjoying it, and a lot of the stuff has been moved over. There's just bits and pieces here and there that when you do it, it'll randomly give like an error, and then I just go in and fix it whenever that happens. But I have almost everything moved over at this point. Anyways, back to the biome. Right now, when you put the things into these spots, it just attacks the corruption, and that's kind of it. You don't get anything else for doing it. You can get the same thing twice. That's how the system kind of works. At first, whenever you would donate stuff, it would just pull from the pool of these things, and then it would spawn it. But I found that with them having different rarities, like this copper and the iron coins are like common rarity, but this myth coin here is like legendary or like higher rarity, just like this rib cage here is a higher rarity. They typically go in like common to higher rarity in these different little sets that I have going on. And I found that you would just keep getting the copper coin over and over, and it would be really annoying. So what I did was they're all kind of like in a pool together, and it just picks them. Obviously the commons are going to get picked first, and then if you take that and then you feed it back to the jelly, it'll give you some ancient bits back, and then you can put it back into there, or you can sell it for a little bit of money depending on what rarity it is, obviously, or you can put it into here to do the attack to the corruption. But once you put it in here, you can only get it one more time, and then you can't get it anymore for the biome. So you're not just getting the same item over and over again. You can, however, get that same item over and over again if you just keep taking it and feeding it to the jelly, or taking it and selling it. So it's kind of a strategy to, if you get one of the rare ones early on, to just feed it to the jelly or sell it because it's gonna get more value over time, and then wait until the very end to donate those. So there's kind of a little bit of a cool aspect of the gameplay there that I think people will like. One of the things I also noticed was that it doesn't feel as rewarding to put items into these sets and then you finish the set and then nothing special happens. So I think what I'm gonna do is when you finish one of these sets, it gives like a coin bonus. Like you get a bunch of money as a reward and some experience. I don't know, just let me know if you think that's a cool idea. Like, oh, I just finished the coin set. I just got like a bunch of money and a bunch of experience for that. I just leveled up. Because when you defeat the corruption, obviously it unlocks more of the farm and then it unlocks new crops up here. But what if you complete this set and it doesn't break the corruption? You know what I mean? It's just like an extra little gift to the player to make you feel like you're actually doing something, which is a really important part of making video games, especially this game. A lot of the stuff in the game is a reward to the player. I want the player to feel like I just did this and then I got something cool out of it. I don't want them to feel like I just got this super rare blue coin, I put it in, nothing happened. I want it to feel like, oh, I got that. Yeah, I'm putting it in. I guess we could talk about this little feller right here. His name is just Beans right now. It's not the official name, but this is one of the jellies for this biome. It is called a Tailil, and it is a dinosaur jelly. I actually, way back when I was making Jelly World, came up with the idea of dinosaur eggs. And you could find the dinosaur eggs out in the wild, and they would hatch into dinosaur jellies. And one of those jellies was the Tailil. I think this guy is so cute. He's a little dinosaur fella. Very, very adorable. I stuck with the sort of original jelly green colors because that works for dinosaurs and lizards, but also because I wanted this one to be like, it's kind of like the normal jelly, but a dinosaur. What the freak is he digging up? Oh, he just dug up some ancient bits. Thank you. So there's also these 3 crops, which are the 3 original crops from Fairlii Fields, but these are petrified versions. So when you actually get the ancient bits and you put them in the thing, sometimes you'll get petrified seeds, and then those will grow into these crops, and then you can sell them, feed them to the jelly, or donate them. It's just another thing to donate, but it's like a different mechanic. So I think that's actually pretty cool. And then of course, you have these ones, which is like all of the fish and feathers in the biome will be little spots. There'll also be a set. So I think this one will probably just be 3. It'll be the most common bird, the most common fish, and the most common bug. We saw the common bug earlier. It was that little beetle that I grabbed. It's called the pond beetle. And you might notice when I had the pond beetle, there's a resemblance to the lunapons. And that's because the lunapons were actually designed after the pond beetles, like in the lore of the world. Let's see what we get here. Aha! Look at this, petrified sweet root seeds. So I plant that, and now we have a petrified sweet root. Does it make sense that you're growing a petrified crop? No. But is it cool? Yeah, it's pretty cool. At least I think it is. Here is my massive concept document for this biome. This biome has so much stuff, so many items in this biome. For example, we have things like the different petrified seeds. There's petrified sweet root. This is that tree that you guys saw earlier. This right here that has the ancient bits on it, it's a petrified bit tree. There's some sweet root, and then the pompey, you can actually see, turn up here, the sweet root. And then here's the pond bug that we were talking about earlier. Yeah, it looks like a lunapon. Oh, very, very cute. And it kind of flaps its little wings around. This is the little mushroom crop, which actually has that version that I was talking about that can drop multiple mushrooms. Here it is. It's blue. And then the bean pods from the bean pod plant, which this is a fully grown bean pod. There's also a little jelly egg. I don't know if I want that to be something you can donate or not yet. I have the little tiny sprite of it for the donation little pedestal thingy. You can see here the example of what the pedestal is like. It's basically the normal sprite and then a like smaller 7x7 version of the sprite. All the items in the game are 9x9, so I can scale most of them down to 7x7 without any issues, but some of them look a little bit weird when scaled down to 7x7. But I think I converted most of them pretty well. Like this is the big one, this is the little one. I think it works. And then the corruption that I have so far is this pile of bones. That's a level 1 corruption. And then the level 2 corruption is an ancient wheel. If you can't tell already, this biome is inspired by a lot of dinosaur and prehistoric and old types of stuff. I mean, the whole vibe of the place is archaeology and old and stuff like that. The reason why I wanted to make this biome was I was inspired by the museum aspects in a lot of farming games and like Animal Crossing, and Gelli Fields is kind of my Gelli Fields take on a lot of game genres or ideas or vibes that I like. So, for example, the second biome, Rocky Retreat, it's very misty and rainy, which is like my favorite kind of vibe. And then you have the mechanic where you're mining through the walls, which is inspired by Minecraft, one of my favorite games. And the two were combined, Misty Rain and Minecraft, because I like watching those videos where people just have no talking, it's just game sounds, and they're walking around in Minecraft and it's raining and the vibe is really nice. So those two kind of came together and made one biome. So for this one, I wanted to take my love for the museum sort of aspects in games and my love for weird old prehistoric random things. Like I have, oh, this is a giant wheel. What? I wonder what that was for. I want players to see stuff in this biome and like wonder about the lore and the implications of, well, if there's petrified sweet root and turnip, that must mean they've been around for a very, very long time. They could have been one of the first crops cultivated in Cantina. You know, I want people to think about that, or like, what are these bones from? Oh, I don't know. Are these bones from the skeletons from my other game, Treasure and Bones? I have no idea. I'm sorry if this didn't have as much movement on the screen as you would have wanted to. The biome is still obviously work in progress, and I'm also doing the save stuff, so I don't want it to keep like crashing and then me having to stop and then do a bunch of jump cuts. Thank you so much for watching this first ever Fairlii Friday. If you want to support the channel and help me make more Fairlii Fridays and continue doing my job, consider becoming a member. Members are getting cool stuff like my games for free. I'm actually about to release a game. I mean, I want to release Gelli Fields this year, but there's actually another game that I'm working on that I'm going to release like probably pretty soon. I'm not going to promise, but it's getting pretty close. Maybe next Fairlii Friday I'll talk about my other game that I'm working on and why I'm working on it. But also, if you want to know what's going on with the channel and where I've been and all of that stuff, there's going to be a video on the Fairlii More channel. I'll put a link to it somewhere whenever the video is up. If not, I'll put a community post and say, hey guys, if you've been wondering what's going on with the channel, here's this video. It's going to be another kind of like this, rambly. That's all I'm going to do now, is I'm just going to turn the camera on and talk about my games and stuff and tell you guys where everything is. I want to know how you guys feel about this biome, how you're feeling about Gelli Fields. If you're excited for me to upload videos on Fridays, just let me know how you feel about everything. Did you like the vibe of this video? Did you think I was yip-yapping too much? Should I edit out a lot of the yip-yaps? Do you like this video being longer? I've been recording for like 30 minutes now. Some of it's probably cut out for you, but yeah, I'm just yipping and yapping, but let me know how you feel about the yipping and yapping and if you want me to keep doing it. Also, I'm in a new space. I have the Fairlii office. Look, this thing right there. Let me know if you want me to upload a video doing like an office tour or something. Also, if you're a member, Fairlii Fridays will sometimes be member videos. So there'll be a main Fairlii video and then also a members video in the same day on some Fairlii Fridays. Not this one, because I'm still trying to feel out how everything feels. See what's going on with this series. But also, I have the Fairlii Minis channel, which is where I will, some Fridays, do live streams. So it's like, oh, I don't have a video for you guys, but I'm going to be live streaming game development, so come on over to the other channel. I'll put links to all this stuff in the description, and then obviously that video where I'm describing all this new stuff will have a lot more context and stuff. Okay, I hope you guys are having a good day. Bye! It's Fairlii Friday!